Hey YouTube, this is my technician style converted Ridgid Pro Gear box for my hand tools. I've had this box for 10 years or a little longer. This is the first one that I got. It replaced my Platt technician's box. And you can see right here, we used to label them with white gaffer's tape and handwrite on there, and then printed different labels, used blue tape and different stuff over the years. These labels have been on there for just I don't know, several months, but they're holding up pretty good. But wear and tear of the box over the years, the little lock right here busted off. Right here, I used to put clips on this and use a shoulder strap and carry it like that sometimes, but this just broke from them bending over time, bending it back and eventually breaking. But this is it. The rubber wore off the handles here. Still locks on another box just fine, both sides, though the rubber was quick to go. But the tabs and everything have held up on the bottom pretty well. You know, they, like I said, they'll still lock together, no problems on that, and no dents, dings, holes, or anything. It's held up pretty well over the years. But I'm just going to go over this real quick, kind of go through my hand tools. So we labeled it on the ends, so it doesn't matter where I've got it stacked up. I can see it is my hand tools. So open this up. First thing I did is I took the plastic insert out of the top and used a flathead screwdriver, just get behind it, and that plastic insert comes out. I needed some way to attach my tools up here, so I just used a little piece of wooden pegboard. And to attach it, I drilled holes in the top of the box and attached it with some screws and some little nuts. This stays in my van, so I don't need it to be waterproof. If you kept this in the back of your pickup truck, this might be an issue. You might could silicone these. But I just did that four screws right here to hold my pegboard in. The weight of this box, the top with all the tools in it's a little heavy. So I did put these supports in. And to mount them, I also drilled holes and mounted screws and nuts inside. So on the inside here, I've got the nut where that's attached. That's just a magnet sticking on there. Nut. The same on this side. But that gives it the support. You know, can hold the box up. It's not going to break. Worry about that. It's got its own little stop. These came off my old Platt technician's toolbox. That's where those came from. But just going to run through my tools real quick. People were asking me what it was and how I did it. This is a piece of foam that's from some piece of equipment that we had. Extron switcher, I think. This was just the foam that was in the bottom of the box. I've tried the different screwdriver holders and everything over the years, but the screwdrivers have fallen out and not stayed. And I've tried the little clips from Harbor Freight, and that didn't work. This is only my second piece of foam that I've had in here. And this one's probably been in here for 5 years. Piece of foam that I just punched some holes in the top for the screwdrivers to go in. So it holds my screwdrivers. This is a roll gear converted to a pick quick. And I've got a screwdriver video coming out. Ratchet and screwdriver. The next is a Milwaukee. It's the full metal tang all the way through it. It's just a beater Phillips head. Then I've got this Weehaw. It's got bits in the top, little holds 1-inch bits, but it's rated for 1,000 volts. Don't really use it that much. It's just as nice to have in the tools. This is another beater flathead. You can see we've used it a good bit. And then another 1-inch bit snap-on screwdriver. And I've had this screwdriver 40 years, 37 years. My dad gave me this screwdriver. This is actually the second one. The first one, the mechanism locked up. Went to a Snap-on truck and said, hey, do you have the rebuild kit? And he said, eh. And he just handed me a new screwdriver. So I took it, and later on I was like, well, not sentimental, not the one my dad gave me, but Snap-on screwdriver, it's still the one my dad originally, gave me. Then a little zip tie right here holds the Milwaukee light. This is the piece of a bucket boss, most canvas totes that you get that goes in a 5-gallon bucket. I just took it and cut it. Originally I had zip ties and little elastic straps to hold all this stuff, and it was just a nightmare getting stuff in and out. This bucket boss piece, this one happened to be a Husky. It worked out really good because I keep an extendable magnet in here. Keep my voltage stick right here. Tech screwdrivers, Pica pencil, some hemostats for grabbing stuff, locking on, trying to grab small wires and hold on to stuff. I've got this nail set, so that's a nice little extra handle to have. Extron tweaker screwdrivers. These are, for people that don't know, it's a flat head and a Phillips head. We use these for using on Phoenix connectors and adjusting equipment and stuff. I've got the Klein little miniature one. It's a backup. I also carry the Klein 14-in-1. It's nice because it's got the security Torx inside it and stuff. So it's nice to have in the bag. For wire strippers, for all our low voltage stuff, we use these Ideal because they go down to a pretty small size. It goes down to 26 gauge. So if we do need to strip the end off of a Cat 5 wire, we can strip the individual. Carry these Exolite flush cuts. These are real nice because the flush cut piece, the blade goes all the way back to the hinge. So if you push these in tight against something and cut it, it'll cut it flush. A lot of the little tiny Exolite and other brand flush cuts have a gap right here at the back. So that's the reason I've settled on these Exolites over the years. And then RJ45 termination. And then as a low voltage contractor, in my hammer drill box with the SDS, I've got a real hammer. But in here, I just carry this little screwdriver, a little hammer that comes out, and it's just no idea why this is on the back. You can hit it and it makes that tone noise, but been laughed at several times for having that, but no need to carry a big heavy hammer all the time. We just don't need it a lot. So that's the top of my toolbox. A couple of things I missed in here. I've got a pair of, a file that's got a, I won't use this in a drill or an impact, but it'll go in this handle here. And then I've got another screwdriver down here with a locking handle to go in. Extra pencil, and then a small pair of channel locks, kind of the Vice Grip, Vice Grip brand. And they're kind of the tapered nose, so it can get in small. Mainly use that when I'm soldering stuff to hold. We don't solder enough to carry a soldering block every day, but we have to solder the end on a wire. We'll use that. So that's the top of the box right there. Moving down into the bottom of the box, the other part of that bucket boss, I used it, put it in here and laid it down. Keeps all my tools. So when everything's folded like this and it's standing up, everything slides into the pockets. Everything wants to go towards the hinge right here. So this bucket boss piece, like I said, multiple techs, so we carry a couple of razor knives for opening boxes. We'll get on a job site, have a bunch of boxes to open. Flashlight, the Coast brand. I really like them because you don't have 1,000 modes. You've got bright and dim, and you don't have strobe and red and all the crap that we don't use. Dykes. Over the years, tried all the different brands, Weha and everything. I always go back to these channel locks. The way the blade is on the end, one side's a blade and one side's an anvil. they always cut really good. We do a lot of stranded steel wire. We're mounting stuff overhead, so that cuts them really good. Little battery powered screwdriver. This is Hammerhead made this originally, and then Skill licensed it and made their own. It's just a 4-volt. It charges with a USB micro, not the USB-C. But you turn it to the right, it goes right. Turn it to the left. Has enough torque that it can drive a sheetrock screw into our metal caddy fasteners. A lot of times we're putting in speakers and stuff, we'll use this so it won't damage the little ears on speakers. Put them in overhead, or for mounting them in ceiling tiles. You can try the different modes on your drill, but we've just never had luck with that. It's got enough torque to turn it into plastic, but not enough torque to break it. The lights on it are pretty handy. It does have a voltage tester on it there. Don't really rely on it. I always carry this one, and got some more in the power box. But we tried the DeWalt, we tried Dremel, and a bunch of different brands of battery powered screwdrivers, Craftsman and whatnot. And this is the one that we've decided it kind of works out the best with us. Another Coast flashlight. This one has an adjustable beam. The first one, this one doesn't, just on and off. It's kind of a semi-wide pattern, a little hot spot in the middle. Next, just some junk, some stick-it pads. Klein headlight. Just the jury's still out on this. It's got when you turn it off, it's got this meter right here to show you the battery, but it seems like it dies all the time. It's like whenever you need it, it dies, and then you got to go plug it in. You can't open it up and put batteries in it. So it rides around in here, gets used a little bit. Have a full socket set in the van, but just the little sockets that we use day to day. This little gear wrench set is awesome. Have a little extension for driving the sockets. It comes with its own little one, but this is just real handy for getting in somewhere tight. You can put a 1/4-inch bits in it, so it's nice for that. 5/16 on this end. The little set has most of the sizes we've used. We've run into this 5/32 several times, so we carry that in the bottom. But just a good little set. The cases crack and don't hold up all that great. You can see we've got it taped. But it rides right there. Electrical tape, and then a 25-foot tape. Changing brands of tapes all the time. I've never found a favorite. I do like this auto lock. So you pull it out, it stays. A lot of the auto locks, if you tried to hang them up and they were magnetic, the gravity would just cause the weight of it. But this one's tight enough, plus it's got a lock. You can lock it to keep it out, or push it to retract. So I had this one for a while, and it stays in the toolbox. I carry one on that tool pouch. The next row, we've got the coax termination. This tool just does our F connectors and our B and C RCA connectors. And to be honest, we're doing a lot less of this termination. F connectors now, every now and then, people for a while were wanting antennas hooked up to their TVs, but that's being less and less, and we're using less and less coax. But just keep this one. It's made by Liberty. It's aluminum. It's pretty lightweight. It's not adjustable. It just does basically their ends. In the coax box in the van, I've got the adjustable ones. Some by Klein and somebody else that we can use different ones. Next row, needle nose pliers. I've only carried these for a little while. It's nice reaching in the wall if we have to grab a stick or a wire to fish it out. The needle nose, and then sometimes we have some little pins in our connectors that we need to straighten up. That's nice. That or the hemostats do good for that. Then the Knipex Cobras. All the videos on YouTube, hey, these are the greatest ever. But once you use a pair of them, you're like, these are pretty dang good. So got those in there. Along with the 3 Milwaukee knives to carry this Olfa. You can extend the blade out. Sometimes we have to cut through ceiling tiles, like those foam ones or the insulation fiberglass ones. So this is nice to have a little bit extra length on the blade versus just the standard razor knife blade. Keep it in there. Linux, carried Wisp for years, but these are nice. If they squeeze, they stay locked. They won't just open in the bag like all the Wisps do. And the handles, had these for years. Next tool here, not many people are gonna know what this is, but this is for putting little pins, gold pins on DB9, DB15 connectors, serial connectors, and VGA connectors. And it opens up. Stick the little pin in there, pushes down, spring loaded, holds it in, then you crimp it. You can see the small gauge wire, 20 gauge to 28 gauge wire is what we use these on. I said we use this less and less, but Friday we're going to put up a couple of projectors that we've got to control RS-232. Our control system can't be on the customer's network. The projectors are on the network, and so our control system will control the projectors 232. And so I will be terminating some 9-pin connectors with that. Next, the Knepex Twin Grip. These things are awesome. You can grip the end of a screw from the side. They're adjustable if you need the jaws to open bigger. Same thing, you hear all the hype, but then you actually put them in your hands and you use them and you're like, okay, the hype is justified. Really good. Goes in there. Next, these Klein strippers. I carry these. These go down to the 28. If you need something really small that you're having trouble trying to strip the wire on, these are good. And I used to use these for cutting my bolts, 8/32 and 6/32 for wall plates and stuff. But you can see the holes kind of enlarged a good bit on both of these. Also use this for crimping down our butt splices and spade connectors and stuff on the ends of wire. So I carry those. And then we do a lot of screens. And when you're pulling the paper off a screen, you don't want to take a chance with a razor knife. So this will get under the paper or the those plastic shipping tabs. You can drag and just cut underneath it. This is, for a couple of dollars, this is really handy. At least just having that in there. And then we do solder, still solder ends and stuff. Just have a butane soldering iron. Weller, I think, is this brand. No marking on it. Portasol. Portasol is the brand. So tried a bunch of different ones over those of the years, and that's what we've come up to really like. And then the front here, I've got a Cat 5 tester. It's just this is the little cheap one. Just basically does continuity, and it'll also let you know if it's shielded. Both the tester and the end, so that's nice. We do a lot of shielded wire. We've got an outlet tester that actually will tell us the voltage. Just got this a couple of months ago, but it's worked out pretty nice. See if an outlet's wired correctly. Oh, the bottom of my pallet here, I've got a 9/16, ½ inch, 3/8 and 7/16. 7/16 for the coax, the 3/8, ½ inch, 9/16 when we're dealing with unistrut and all thread. I also carry this Klein, ½ inch on this end, 9/16. So that's good. All your 3/8 all threads going to have your 9/16 nuts on it, so that's handy. So this pouch here, the tool belt thing, and then I've got the Milwaukee Headlight that takes 3 AAAs. So like I said, the Klein dies, you just got to put it on charge. The Milwaukee, I can go to the van and get 3 more AAAs and put in it. So that's the reason I've got 2 of them in here. And then under this, I've got a Plano plastic tub. So that's usually I just lift that up. But let me pause the video here just for a second. I'm gonna lift this out. All right, so this is underneath. Got this Plano tub. Just pull the capture pieces off of it, because that right there is sitting on top of it all the time, so I don't need that. I need to be able to just lift it up and easily get in here. You can see over the years it cracked a little bit, but it's good for holding stuff. And in here I've got a little triplet voltmeter. Mainly use this testing low voltage stuff, continuity. Got a noodle with a magnet on it for bending, getting in the wall, toner, and a sniffer. I keep a Weehaw set of Allen keys, the SAE and the metric. And where's the metric? Good question. These are a little different than the ones you see at Lowe's. These have a little retainer clip in the end and a ball end, so that's nice trying to get down in somewhere and pull a screw out. Got a Klein magnetizer, demagnetizer, goes in there. Have to use that on the 3-inch bits of the roll gear. The 1-inch bits in the snap-on and this are magnetized, but there's a magnet in here, but it doesn't extend all the way to the end, so if we need to magnetize it, that's why I carry that. Next row, butane. Have a flush cut saw, little mini pry bar. And I've got a small screwdriver, stubby, a mirror down in there, emergency piece of tape, because you always need that one more piece of tape and finish a job trying to wrap a wire on to pull it or something. So whatever I get down the very near the end, I'll crush it and put it in there for emergencies. These little clips in here for pulling speaker grills off speakers. Got a little skinny stainless steel razor knife for cutting stuff. Solder, a couple of tubes of solder for soldering. Extra blades for the utility knives. And I really like these Husky that are serrated. If you can see that. The serration, it seems like they last a little longer. I mean, we dull utility knife blades like crazy. So these Husky with that little serration on there, you want to give those a try. And then a set of security bits, just a 1-inch Klein. And it came with a big hump on it with a hole in it, like you could stick it on a screwdriver, which is crazy. I just cut that off so it fit down in here a little better. Then beside that, I carry a level, magnetic torpedo level, 9-inch Empire. Carry different brands over the years, but the size of this one's real small, and I like the scale on the end. Let you know when it's good and level. For drywall saw, this old Linux, they don't make them like this one anymore. Now they've got like a big fat handle that it's hard to open and close. This one, it's got a locking position, and I can't do this one-handed. Lock straight out. It'll lock back just a little bit. So if you need to saw and get down close to the floor or the bottom of a wall or something, side of a wall, you can get in a little tighter, get your hand still on the thing. And then it'll lock in this like pistol. It'll lock in this pistol grip position here too. And then closing it up, folds up, and that's the blade that came with it, which I've had for years, the Linux drywall. But it will take just a regular, you can unscrew this and it'll take a regular reciprocating saw style blade. And so that's it. That's what the low voltage technician's case, the way I've turned it into it. And like I said, I've had this box at least 10 years and it's held up. So the Ridgid stuff is strong, it's durable, stays in a van, doesn't stay out in the weather, but it's pretty much loaded up and used daily for at least the past 10 years. And that's about it. I had a technician try to copy this, and he said the bucket piece that I've got here Husky doesn't make that one anymore, and the pockets, he couldn't set it up just like mine because the pockets were like, he had a bunch of small pockets, or it was just a bunch of giant big pockets. So I don't know. There's several companies that make them, but that's just a solution I came up with. Got any questions or about any of my tools or anything in the comments, just let me know. Y'all have a good day. Thanks for watching.